Mills and Boone. The mountains felt like they were going to crush me. So that's why I decided to drive the school bus. Yes, you're right. You're just a big, gorgeous girl. Well, I grew up on a farm, so it was a big, heavy slog all the time because we were cheap labour for my parents. Put it that way. They actually had 9 of them. Right from the time I could put a set of cups on a cow, I was in the gang to milk cows. My day started about 4:30 in the morning, and we rounded up our cows and put them into a walk-through dairy. You wouldn't see any of them now because they're all herringbone or something like that. And it was a lot of work, so I was not planning to marry a farmer at all. And my husband cheated me. He was a painter and decorator, but I didn't know that his fondest wish was to be a farmer. Went and married me under false pretenses because he should have disclosed that he wanted to be a farmer, otherwise I would have walked away. We rode horses to school. The school provided a school paddock for the horses because there was other kids did the same thing. It was fun. It was never a chore. It might have been a chore in the rain. We had 4, Blondie, Blue Heather and Ginger and Bonnie. Bonnie was the one we all started off on. She was a placid horse. In fact, sometimes when... Sorry. And I don't know who it is. Hello?
Yeah, Helen, it's Tony. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad, Tony. We often didn't even bother with a saddle either. Depended how much time we had, whether a saddle was put on. You know, that's what kids do. We used to go to the Latimer dances, but the buses stopped at 11 o'clock, so you know, you couldn't get home because the dance went through to 12. It was raining, so we wanted to have a ride home from the dance. We asked people if they had enough room for 3, and we all bunched in, went into the vehicles, and Mills and Boone. So that's how I met Naylor. He turned and took the 3 of us home, and in an Austin 7, believe it or not. It was a 34 Austin 7, and that was the year he was born, and that's why he bought an Austin 7. Ran out of petrol, and Kathy and Blanche and I had to push it while he sat in the wheel to the garage. But it was a lot of fun, you know. But can you imagine it? When we went to Glenorchy, the Education Board was going to shut the school because the school pupils were down to 6. Because we knew once it closed, they would never open up again. Another family moved into Glenorchy to boost the school children. We got a bus, but we didn't have a driver. Barbara and I, we decided to both go for our licences to drive buses. And we were successful, and the school stayed open. We went from 1 to 2 teachers. The atmosphere and the attitude of everybody there was like a great big family. It was lovely. Because I held a bus licence, I get requested by H&H Motors. They wanted to put a bus into Glenorchy. I ended up driving that jolly thing. I preferred the children. I drove the school bus for 17 years. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And when it was their birthdays, I bought ice creams for all the bus pupils. They were getting treats every now and again from this old bus driver. When I first moved to Glenorchy, the mountains felt like they were going to crush me. So that's why I decided to drive the school bus. It just got me away from home. I had no space. One time in particular, we were going down to my brother's place. We got to the dome past Athol, and I pulled up on the side of the road to kids that I had with me. They said, "What's the matter, Mum?" And I says, "I'm just looking." And I sat there for half an hour just looking as there was nothing, not a cloud or nothing in the way, looking at the mountains in the distance. After a while, I started the car up and I went down to Leicester's. I still didn't realise that's what was the problem. My husband, he realised what my problem was. So we decided to sell our farm and we were going to go to Australia. And one of them in particular was called Mount Crichton. We were on this property and looking around. This bloke was standing showing us the boundaries and everything of the farm. And I says, "You called this place Mount Crichton, where is the mountain?" And he says, "You're sitting on it." Our car was right on the top of Mount Crichton, and they called that a mount. It was a bump. We decided to come home. We ended up at Bennett's Bluff. We yelled out, "Stop, Dad!" And we stopped the car, and that's when the mountains welcomed me back. There was no way that I want to leave those mountains. And I was as happy as a boy from then on. And I didn't realise how much I enjoyed the mountains until we came back from Australia. The feeling was just amazing. Jim Bolger wanted to walk the greenstone rootburn valleys, and I had the pleasure of driving Jim Bolger and his 19 extra people that he had with him. Mr. Bolger and his wife sat behind me in the seat closest to myself. And we were going down this gravelly road. He says, "Road not too bad, Helen, is it?" Yes and no to that. I can tell you now that right up until 5 minutes before I picked you up, there were 6th graders on the road to make it look like it is today. I've already gone past 2, and he says, "Where?" As we were going down the road, I pointed out all the graders. We got to Bennett's Bluff, and he was looking at the scenery. He turned around and says, "So you reckon a little bit of tar seal wouldn't go amiss, Helen?" I said, "I'd love it." So the road got widened as well as tar sealed. We'd come to town once a month. School at Glenorchy used to have a shopping day. Even the teacher went to town. We did a big shop up. You didn't buy a small packet of flour. That went nowhere. We had 2 very elderly people that was in the district. Rosie had quite a few cats. She was a real character of a person. She used to kill a sheep and hang it up in the tree. And when she fed the cats, you just let the sheep down on the ground and the cats fed until you gave them a bit of time to feed. And then you pulled the sheep back up, and one time when I was doing it, I discovered that I'd left a cat in the carcass of the sheep. It spent the night in the sheep. I was so surprised that when I let it down, it ran away. Like I say, we were like a big family. Everybody knew how everybody worked. What I'd do is I'd drive the school bus to school, and then I would go home and milk my cow and everything else that I needed to do. I didn't even get a thank you from Miss Grant for doing that. I noticed things that I didn't know I noticed. With Mrs. Forbes, every morning there would be smoke coming out of her coal range. A couple of mornings I'd noticed that there'd be no smoke coming out of her house. Something made me curious, or nosy, whatever. And I decided to call in, see if she would like some cream. So I knocked on the door, and the door wasn't shut properly, and when I knocked on the door it opened. So I yelled out, "Mrs. Forbes, are you around?" And this little voice came from the bedroom. "Who is it?" And I said, "It's Helen Hillary. Do you want some cream for your porridge?" She says, "Yes, but come and kick the coal range into gear and make me the porridge first. I'm starving." I think I just enjoyed life. I wasn't competing with anybody. I was just doing what I needed to do. No, I'm just one of these people that's a doer. Get things done when they have to be done, you know. Enjoy yourself. That's the advice I'd give. Do what you feel like you are capable of doing. You've got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, well, nobody's a winner there. I only did the back slogging. Hard yards. Exactly.